Hey gang, and welcome back. These videos are brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your unused collection fast and easily. 401 Games, Canada's top shop for all your hobby and TCG needs. Dragon Shield, the strongest sleeves for your strongest decks. Moxfield, the easiest way to store and share your deck lists. And Foil Armor, flatten your foils fast. Max wins the die roll and starts us off. He draws and plays a Thundering Falls, surveilling 1. Sammy's land for turn is a Graven Cairns, and he casts Soul Ring. Arja's got a tap Demaria, and ships it after that. Kuzno just plays an island. Max's land for turn is a Training Center, and he taps 2 for Harmonic Prodigy. Sammy's got a Swamp, and then pays 3 for a Black Market Connections. Arja's got a Plains, and brings out his commander with the Queen of the Dale. Kuzno plays a Willow Rush Verge, paying 2 mana for Lightning Greaves. This triggers the Queen of the Dale, with Arja getting a Recruit trigger, drawing a card and discarding a card, and making a 1/1. Max draws and plays a tap Sporific Springs. He then suspends Ancestral Recall. Sammy draws, and chooses to take an extra 3 to make a treasure token and draw a card from the Black Market Connections. He then plays a mountain and brings out Professor Plum. He ships it after that. Arja has a Plains and casts Loyal Retainer. He then swings the Queen and a Soldier token at Kuzno, who takes the hit. Kuzno taps his Verge to help cast a Wirewood Symbiote in his main phase, and then plays a Dimir Aqueducts, bouncing the land back to hand. He then equips the Symbiote with the Greaves and passes to Max. Max removes a suspend counter from his visions, draws for turn, and just has to pass. Sammy draws and loses another 3 in his main phase to make a treasure and draw again from the Black Market Connections. He plays out Nykthos as his land for turn, and all but taps out using some treasures to help cast Smaug the Impenetrable. Since he used a treasure to pay for the spell, Professor Plum draws him a card and loses him 1 life. Going to combat, since he has haste, Smaug goes at Arja. Unfortunately, the overlay is acting up a bit at this point, so please ignore the poison counter and wrong commander damage box showing. Arja's turn has him playing a Plains, and brings out Elesh Norn. He passes after that. Kuzno replays his Willow Rush Verge, and then plays an Immaculate Magistrate. He equips her with the Greaves, and passes to Max. Max downticks the Ancestral Vision, and plays a Scalding Tarn, cracking it and losing 1 to find a Sacred Foundry, which has him taking 2 more. He then casts Gandalf, and goes to combat. He gets 2 triggers since the Harmonic Prodigy is out, and Max has the first one casting Path to Exile and targeting Smaug. Unfortunately, Sammy uses a treasure to help cast Bolt Bend and redirect it to Gandalf. This is Arja also getting a Recruit trigger from each of those spells, and he draws a card and discards a card and makes a 1/1 thanks to Queen of the Dale. Gandalf is then exiled, with Max going to find a land. He then has nothing for the second trigger, but he does swing the Prodigy at Sammy, who takes the hit for 2. Sammy draws, and loses 3 again from Black Market Connection, once more making a treasure and drawing a card. He plays Urborg as his land for turn, and then swings Smaug at Kuzno, and Professor Plum at Max. This has him exiling the Triad from Arja's graveyard which he discarded earlier, and Professor Plum makes him a treasure token. They both then take the hit. Sammy then follows up with a very scary card in Smaug with a Cranial Plating, and Arja gets a Recruit trigger, drawing, discarding, and making a 1/1. Arja draws and goes straight to combat, swinging Elesh Norn and his tokens at Sammy. Sammy just takes the hit. In Arja's second main phase, he then activates Elesh Norn by sacrificing the tokens to help transform her into the Argent Etchings. As it comes in, he incubates 2 5 times, and then transforms them all. He passes after that. During the end step, Kuzno activates his Immaculate Magistrate to give his Wirewood Symbiote a +1/+1 counter. Kuzno draws, playing an Underground Mortuary and surveils 1. This has him binning the Findhorn Elves. He follows up with casting a Crozota Guildmage, and going to combat. Kuzno swings the symbiote at Sammy for 2 and passes. Max removes another suspend counter from Visions, draws for turn, and then casts Sten, who as he enters, names Instance. He then ships it, and during the end step, Sammy casts Valakut Awakening, which has him bottoming his hand and drawing that many +1. Arja also gets a recruit trigger, drawing a card, discarding a card, and making a 1/1. Sammy's main phase has him losing his typical 3 to draw an extra card and make a treasure. He plays a mountain for turn, and casts Mirkwood Bats, having used a treasure for it to cast it, which has Professor Plum making him lose 1 life and drawing a card. He then uses Nykthos to make 4 mana, and he helps cast Smaug the Wicked Worm. Kuzno responds to this with an Arcane Denial, and Arja gets a recruit trigger. Sammy responds to the recruit trigger with free casting and deflecting SWAT, and changes the Arcane Denial to target itself. And Arja gains another Queen of the Dale recruiter trigger. The deflecting SWAT then resolves, but with Smaug on the stack still, Max then casts a Desynchronization, and Arja gains the last recruiter trigger he could this turn. This importantly bounces the Mirkwood Bats, so when Smaug enters, Sammy does get the 6 tap treasures, but at least they don't do any damage. Sammy then gears up his Commander Smaug with a Skull Clamp. He counts up his artifacts, and it's +10/+0, so he swings Smaug at Arja, and Plum goes at Kuzno. Both take the hits, with Arja getting taken out for commander damage. Kuzno plays a Woodland Cemetery for turn, and casts a Llanowar Abomination. He then brings back out the Crozota Mage, and then the Wirewood Symbiote. He puts the Greaves onto the Abomination, and passes. On his upkeep, Max removes the last counter from his Vision, drawing 3 as he casts it, and then draws for turn. He plays a Rogren Triome which comes in tapped, and Max has to pass after that. Sammy loses 3 again to Black Market Connections, and then activates Nykthos in his main phase to help recast Mirkwood Bats. He then plays a Goldspan Dragon, using a treasure which has Professor Plum losing in 1 and drawing a card. Going to combat, Smaug and the Goldspan go at Kuzno, while Plum heads at Max. On attack, Professor Plum exiles Findorn Helms from Kuzno's graveyard, and the Goldspan makes a treasure which has the Mirkwood Bat dealing 1 to his opponents. And before moving to blocks, Max casts Elminster's Simulacrum. He makes a copy of the Crozota Guildmage and Smaug the Impenetrable. He then blocks Plum with Smaug, while Kuzno is just straight up murdered. Sammy's second main phase then has him casting a Wefstalker Ardent, and he then moves to his end step, discarding down to 7. Max draws, and swings his Smaug at Sammy, who blocks with Smaug Wicked Worm. Max's second main phase then has him bringing out Lear, but he decides not to cast Path to Exile, because let's face it, Sammy will just recast Smaug on his turn anyway. On his end step though, Sammy does cast Big Score, discarding a card and making 2 treasure tokens, plus drawing 2 cards. This has the Mirkwood Bats first triggering, and dealing 2 because Sammy used treasures to help pay for it. Max then loses another 4, as the Bats and the Ardent see 2 more treasures coming in. Sammy's turn has him losing 1 to Black Market Connections to make a treasure token, dealing a total of 2 to Max from the Bats and the Ardent. He then plays a Mountain for turn. He activates Nykthos for mana to help cast the Depth Shaker Titan. This makes all of his treasure tokens into 3/3s, but even if Max had an answer for it, he knows he's basically done for either way, and knows when he's beat, scooping it up. Game review time. So Sammy ripping that Soul Ring off the top of his library turn 1 was just huge. So the Soul Ring into the Black Market Connections was just massive. Plus Mastermind Plum, I know I called him Professor Plum, but let's face it, he is, that's Clue, was so awesome. I love the synergy of the deck. I'm really proud of how well I built it. I think it's done really well. I will say that the only thing is I'm sad that he didn't seem to draw any of the direct damage spells. I think that would have pushed the deck over the top, although that probably would have happened either way, but it just would have been cool to see. Otherwise, I think it did great. Queen of the Dale was also super awesome. Recruit is incredible and her ability is so strong. And on a 2-mana commander, she's coming out turn 2 guaranteed every game. It's sick. This video wouldn't be possible without the help from my sponsors, but it definitely wouldn't be possible without the help from you, the viewers, and my patrons. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and to remember, friends are just opponents you haven't eliminated yet.